down heroes versus that Cinderella run, both of these heroes set up for heartbreak, right? So at the end of today, someone's going to be in tears. This is a huge game, and I think considering what Copenhagen Flames have done, they've performed above and beyond everybody's expectations at every single turn. So to doubt them here and to doubt them coming into this matchup and thinking maybe NiP will just get done with them, I think we could be fooling ourselves if we think that here.
Chad, how long has Device been in NiP? You know what? Like, probably not that much longer than Copenhagen Flames have been a team. Have been a team. It's like 5 months, and now they've gone open qualifier, now playing for top 8. We are ready to get this party started. First map, Nuke. This is the Flames' choice. Let's see if they can start with an impactful bang. Jabbi in eyes with him. Going to be looking to open up with their T-side pistol.
Oh, walking yard, lots of space here. Hampus is going to call them out. Smoke's dropped in the P250 in the hands of Zyphon here. We're going to take a heads up duel as the flash comes on through.
Ooh, okay, well, no one's actually gone down in their initial engagements. They can reset. There is progress made. Look at roeJ lingering on that smoke. Device is on Overwatch, and a warning shot across the bow. Hampus to check, and that's quick out of roeJ. Already nearly taking a second. His teammate joins him. Nikados finishes what roeJ started, and they might just win through long-range engagements if NiP don't slow things down.
Yeah, they want to fight here. NiP, Plopsky taking a duel, Lockers as well.
It's a Glock, roeJ. How are they even exchanges? Another one for him. There's no nuance to this, and that is a dually frag eventually pulled across the line. A 2-on-3, recovering slightly, but Plopsky still standing in the lockers, hoping for a Hail Mary head. And this one should just wrap up. Yeah, Jabbi from behind. Chad Birchall with the weather.
That right there, they just isolated the fights. I think roeJ's initial fight there shows a lot, right? Getting towards Unbreakable and then they're just chilling. The kill comes his way, he opens it up. And I think right there, there's a couple of points that we're going to be able to carry through with this T side of the Flames going up against the CT side of NiP. Your yard defenders are going to be a combination of Hampus and Device, right? Those are the two that you want to be keeping your eyes on if we're seeing the yard smokes, the crawls towards that position, and how they're going to stifle and rotate around. Another man that I want to bring up here is the youngster, LNZ, right? He is the ramp player. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him in this game. And we're getting straight into things. Top we go. Jabbi down the vent.
That's huge progress. Didn't have the bomb. Not a full commit, but definitely going to be able to force some rotations and even catch and to force you to only really use ramp as an avenue. Secret smokes. You've already lost vent. And you can see what that's done. Perfect catch from the Obs team. 2 men floating. It looks like they'll commit to just the one, but Hampus will need backup if they swing open those doors. There's a lot of bodies on the other side of the slow site. Heading towards that control room, and a tag across the bow. Zyphon low. Util to be dropped. LNZ there as well for good measure. roeJ has put his name in the opening kill column again.
Yeah, onto Hampus twice in 2 rounds here, and that might be it. The mollies, the smokes, it's too good. The Astralis plant comes in, and I think we'll call this one done. NiP going for the double dip. They're going to keep this saved and upgraded weaponry into the next round of play.
Can we call that one simple too?
Yeah, so that, as you pointed out there, Jabbi down the vent, cutting off one of the key rotation points. They tried to rotate in time NiP, but you might need a few more bodies. And the risk of that is, if you put all the bodies down there and it turns out to be a ruse, you've just left ramp, very susceptible, top, very susceptible, and it wasn't guaranteed it was going to be that lower play.
Didn't notice it myself. Did you catch whether or not they're just doing an on-the-fly, like, incendiary smoke, or are they doing this kind of Na'Vi skylight smoke?
It's definitely the standard stuff right there. So, like, that smoke, you can do it 2 ways, right? When you do it from spawn, right, that's a set way so you can get it to land pixel perfect, but...
Okay. Unnecessary?
I don't know. It's like if you're going there and you have it in your hand and they get a good spawn and they take that fight, and you're adding a bit more risk into that maneuver.
Well, we felt it when we were casting Na'Vi's Nuke, and NiP, of course, played against Na'Vi's
Precisely.
Nuke. It's very suffocating when that is immediately landing combined with wall smokes and there's pressure ramp. You just sit there feeling like there's 10 people against you. And it keeps them guessing for sure. Well, yeah, keeping it simple, and 2-0 start. The Flames up against that second bite of the cherry. 4 players saving their force by investment. They'll have full weapons into the next. Let's see how this one shapes up, if they can get it at least a little more competitive. The cross smokes are down. roeJ has swallowed a HE from Device, which certainly puts him within the range for a scout to the body, and Device goes in for a repeat. You'll never guess who just got his 3rd opening kill.
Huge from roeJ here. Really, really showing up in these opening frags on the T side. Smoked off. Rez is going to get thrust forward. The flashes there.
Ballsy, very ballsy, and a good bit of... roeJ! All right, cool your jets. Another catch, and that's Rez trying as hard as he might. Look at the damage inflicted. They did take some heavy blows, but nothing lethal.
It's forced the rotation right at this point. If you are NiP, you have to respect this. You've even seen them cross towards Secret, so rotating a couple of members down. LNZ towards Shadow, Plopsky to oversee business from the ramp position, and Hampus just making sure that they can't their way back up cleanly. hoeJ going to be in a bit of strife here, my friend. There's two bodies to find, but quietly almost makes his way into the back line. Two players low here. There is a chance for damage. Three low now.
Yeah, very, very vulnerable. hampus collects. That's roeJ gone. His damage muted, and hampus has lost his head. jabbi, nice find actually on the Mag-10. Keeps a cool head on his shoulders. Now, they are still susceptible to a 1-deeg. nikados couldn't have any less health if he tried. 1 HP.
This could be a big fight right here.
Yeah, Zyphon hard clear. And bang, just to the center of mass. A weapon upgrade at the bare minimum. And nikados now feeling like he might not be able to contribute too much. jabbi has to really do the most here. Time is on their side. Kit's alight. jabbi needs this. Needs it now. Oh, and back to turn. The positioning is flawless. And nikados, a non-lethal way to draw attention.
Huge. On 1 HP, to make that level of impact, to drop that molly as well. At that point, you're thinking it's almost done, right? You get 7 seconds on that. So great stuff with the low HP. They didn't sweat too much, but it did get a little bit closer than I think the Flames were anticipating.
Now, you were telling me, roeJ, is he 27, just so I can simp correctly?
Yeah, he's one of the older boys. I'll double check. I'm pretty sure when I was doing my little age checks, he was about 27 years of age. Here I am, just, yeah, 27.
27. And finding a whole new lease of life. Guiding some of the younger names in attendance at this event.
Same play right here. You can see the secret smoke's dropping again. Need to wait for it to bloom. Device through the AWP. Not going to be able to see a single thing. They've dropped the molly defensively, but they're able to get past.
Look at that. Safe passage for everyone other than roeJ, who's now just been singed down to 28. hampus has a smoke and has rotated appropriately. Would expect to see that smoke dropped upon contact. Hasn't opted to do so. They could find hampus here on his intermittent checks. The nade a little late, and
he's committed to this now.
roeJ's a lucky boy. Has been tagged up. nikados falls. That's a lot of the more threatening util gone. hoeJ is into the site. NiP having a heavy advantage here, but just by keeping it smoked, double molly, it's bought time for the plant. A tough retake at times, this low site.
We got some smokes here. It's flashes as well when, oh, hampus is a problem. Flash on through, door swings open.
Okay, dark needs to be cleared. Light on util in that respect. LNZ and hampus partnering up. Life is safe, and that's a big clear from hampus. He's pulled NiP into this one. jabbi from behind, looking to strike, would need a whole lot more. Multiple targets, the defuse is coming through. 2-1, great shooting, but not enough. They make it costly, but NiP will convert with all the guns.
Yeah, well, I think that number advantage going into the site right there was actually huge. They took their time and they didn't get flustered, so NiP getting on the board here. Able to get the AWP back in the hands of Device. That means they're going to stay with their standard gun round plays. But Copenhagen Flames, plenty of cash to splash. They could buy on in. AKs are plenty. util there as well. As you can see at the top of the screen, map number 1. If you're just joining us now, Inferno and Ancient waiting in the wings.
Of course, Ancient's been such an impactful map for these teams here. Make or break, really. hampus, we see this play all too often. He's a powerful, powerful component of NiP's defense here. From the secret position, they come knocking on Device's door. Oh, a hard sweep, quick flick, does miss his second chance, but not the third. That's lovely out of Device. First 2 kills we've seen from him. And he's locked down yard, there's more to come. Oh, and they're sitting ducks for him. He collects and plucks, and that is the end of that. Just nikados spotted out. Z-Ax is too much, and Klopski will collect. That's a full spotless NiP round.
Yeah, and that's great now. I can start working on a bit of a CT side economy here. Everybody looking at about that 3K mark as the util buys are coming on in, and Copenhagen Flames have to go back to the drawing board. They got 5K on nikados in the high end. The low end, roeJ with 1.9. So you can see the change up, right? They've been doing those secret wall smokes time and time again. This time, instead of following the smokes through, they've tried to pip the gap, take the fight, but Device ready. Stepping up early.
Yeah, it's good to see he's online. I'm sure the NiP fans knew how compulsory that was, and the desk outlined it as well. You know, this guy has to deliver in the capacity expected of him, and that's just shy of the mark, but on the second, down goes roeJ.
Farming him now.
Exposed heel. And he's getting to have a nice little shooting gallery to warm up the aim.
This is good, though, that he's being confident, right? They want to take these fights. It's just the pistols. You don't want to necessarily just roll over and die, but speaking of death, Device is down. They have been able to find one. hampus needs to be careful now, and we know he loves to be aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, one of these deagle shots connects, suddenly Warehouse becomes a bit of a threat. The order is scooped up, but very low percentage play. Hampus will collect, and so things will peter on out to an equalizer. Just checking in on that scoreboard for the Flames. You have got your likely candidates already finding their footing. Jabbi at the top of the scoreboard alongside roeJ.
Now the question mark is, do they turn their attention towards ramp now? I mentioned LNZ being that ramp holder. It is a potential exploit, right? They could start trying to work on him, pressure him. He does tend to turtle up, right? He's one of those players in a bit of a Zipex fashion. When they get pressure, they'll go for one kill and they'll drop away. They'll play it a little bit safer. Just going to be curious to see what the change up here is from the Flames. 3 out the gate now, 3 back in response. nikodos is going to be into his T-side AWP, so both sides with the big greens out. There's that smoke that gets limped towards the front squeaky.
Oh, and you can see how well synced that is. It does force Device down into the vents, but he'll be able to check on Secret from there. I believe that he'll still beat them to the punch in that respect.
There's 2 of them there. Yeah, Device needs to go back up. Hampus has already got this covered, right? So Device is going to need to linger here. Smokes off Squeaky again. And no clear indication, no space taken from Flames, but definitely doubts around. Hampus is calling this clear now as he pokes up his head, but they're just around the corner.
Oh, roeJ could be catching Device here, and he's quick to the draw. By all accounts, he's supposed to be dead. Device just better. Hampus clears out Yard, and there you have another NiP shutdown.
Yeah, it could be completely different right there. If roeJ gets the opening, the kills wouldn't tumble in their favor. But over towards ramp, they are turning their attention to LNZ now, and he's trying to play the off angle.
Yeah, he's found a good spot. I mean, this is not nikodos' clear. Siphon, first of all, nikodos unavailable. Good shooting out of LNZ, delivers when matters most, keeps it clean, and NiP really are building a bank here, nurturing themselves into a potent CT side.
You can see how important it was for Device there to get into a place where he could actually find some traction, because if he gets locked behind that smoke, where's he meant to go, right? He can't drop down the vent. They already have Hampus towards lower. They don't need him there. They need him to lock down that space to make sure they can't get around towards that heaven side. And this is great from LNZ. 2 great shots there to lock them down and send them back towards pistols. Hooks into a smoke, a flash, deagles for the rest. He's going to limp right across towards that red container, so wanting to take the fight here early. Hampus across in towards Secret again, so they're doing a great job of stifling this territory, and Zyphon has been spotted top silo.
Oh, and Zyphon's hit the bloody banger. Okay, $700 versus $47.50. Zyphon doesn't need the scope. Now, it's not going to be easy to build upon that. And, I mean, Hampus spotting out Hooksy, which actually has the bomb. Could be the end of their plans. You can see Rez has rotated in, scooped up Device's Zoom banger. Little pop flash action, should he require.
You need to be so careful. What's that about?
What's he gone and done with that?
Looking for info here, scrambling now. NiP, 3, well, make it 4v3. That's a response from Rez. But this could still get out of control. There are gaps across the map.
Yeah, nikodos has leapt through one. Now he's called Plopsky up in the rafters, and nikodos primed and ready to catch the retreat of Plopsky. Spotted him. Hard shot to hit. Zyphon's put another in the feed, and oh, nikodos as well. Just Eagles, Chad. And it's LNZ that has to come up clutch. A good first. Spicy headshot, needs the rest. Can he finish with a flourish?
He's reading them here. He's sending him towards Secret, and he's already reading it. They're going on down. If he gives a tell that he's ramped, they can go up the vent, but it's likely LNZ is going to get the drop on them.
He walks on in. Does he commit? No, okay, stays in limbo. Will be able to rotate top side, but it means he has to hit some hard shots. Zyphon's already hit 2 stunning ones. And
Molly's going to be great.
Oh, that'll mess him up. Oh, Hooksy's in trouble. Down he goes, low HP, LNZ for the 1v3. Oh, and Zyphon, you started this. Have you really got it in you? He has! What a save! Zyphon, 3 absolute deagle perfect, pixel perfect, and we just got flashbanged as well. NiP 4, but Copenhagen Flames take NiP down a peg.
Yeah, massive round right there. Zyphon opening and closing that. And you don't think it's going to get out of control after this opening kill, but Hampus, desperate for space, desperate for some information here, steps on into that one. This was the one we caught off action. Rez doing the same, right? You can just see how much NiP was searching for space, and great shot here.
He brings the fight to him.
Yeah, really good stuff.
I mean, a slightly less confident player would be looking at the time thinking that's his best bet, but he just brings the fight straight to LNZ. Game on now. They're looking for a topside hit. Clearing Rez, aggressive from Jabbi. Rez caught unawares. Plopsky doesn't have a chance. Huge. Look at them shoot the heads. It's just as easy as that. The round is over, Chad. 1 minute 27. Hampus could try and change the dialogue, but that's cancelled.
4.
It's just jabbi. This is his round, Zyphon. He had 1. Now it's jabbi's turn, top of the score. But
he's off the leash. He's already
12.
chasing. Device won't be able to get away towards CT spawn here. Look at jabbi. He's just bloodlusting for this, and even has the chance. The crosshair not too far off from Device, and now they know exactly where he is.
Do you let him have it?
I feel like they have enough utility to chase him down, and there's plenty of time to do this, right? They can go about things. Just keeping track of this on the radar for all of you. They are making their way through hell. Device tucked in behind the forklift here. Flashes, smokes. They can try and break down the space from multiple angles on the peak, and Device knows they're coming.
Okay, Device, a smoke thrown his way, and roeJ's the first to fall. That might be the end of playtime.
That might be it. Doesn't look like they want to get stuck in here. NiP's just keeping his head tucked on down.
I mean, that was brutality.
Huge from jabbi. He's having a great game. 12 kills for him already, right? 12 kills for him already, and that would just seem so easy. You can see the flight path there. The only thing that he was zoned in initially was going for that CT vent. Gets that first onto Rez. He knows what he has to clear next, straight into the site towards Plopsky's position. A great round. And the fact that he's the guy getting the 4th kill on hampus, who comes out of that fading smoke, is exceptional work. He knew where all the rotations were. This, it just fades. Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter. I got a head on a bloody swivel. Huge round from jabbi there. Now 5-4 in favor of the Flames.
He's come to play today, Chad. I mean, this is when you'd expect the inexperience haunts them, but if anything, he's just accruing more and more experience with every frag he finds. NiP's is brave now, and Device perhaps unanticipated to be here. You can see players boosted for a surprise element. Holding their nerve for now, and a smoke deployed.
Change of pace here. I think the Flames are expecting something a bit more aggressive, because NiP have been losing a lot of space when the smoke walls go down towards yard. The vent drop as well, so just trying to punish the CT response that could very well be that aggression. But now they've waited, they've hit that pause, they've waited out the first 40 seconds. Smokes will be lined up towards yard.
Now they'll have done their research, Chad. They'll know hampus is the destabilizer here. He's the one that will often try and kick up a fuss when you do throw out this smoke wall. Sometimes he's in it, sometimes he's ahead of it. This time, at the top of the stairs, and he'll be able to call it smoke and mirrors if hoeJ doesn't catch him. They wait for that contact to happen. Yeah, hoeJ's actually taking down hampus, and now the boost we spoke about earlier is coming into play. Is Device ready? Yes, he is. Looking very sharp is the Dane, and plucks Zyphon from the pack as well. On the return, he could win the round right here. roeJ not expecting a re-aggress, but does find the head. Okay, he's impressed. hoeJ dead. Rez confirms it. roeJ taking that space. LNZ spotted it. Do they have to send? Does he get away with this one? The flash securing the frag and likely the round.
It's jabbi though, he's on hot.
He is very hot right now. And that's bloody hell, it looks robotic. He might have another here. LNZ will save him. A great recovery for the Ninjas after what started so perfectly for the Flames.
So that's what you need from Device, right? The desk we're talking about it, how you're going to get a superstar like this in your team. He needs to step up at a moment like this. And he's the only one that's not Swedish right now. So the Dane getting it done right there and making a round that, oh, they lost the opening to hoeJ and yard. Very winnable now, and the cash situation starting to be questioned over there for the Flames. You got hoeJ into a deagle, the same for jabbi.
I do love me a NiPor.
Yeah, so you can see that there was a bit of a pace change in that one early from the Flames, but we are tied up 5-5, and the boost on over. Nobody home to contest this. Down the vent goes hampus, but noisy. They will have heard that ladder. More util back and forth.
The standoff is Device, and how actively he can test this. If he has a glance, NiPor, no slouch, and that's quick. All he needs. He's taken some liberties. No smokes, ready to take the quick scope if Rez is brave enough, and just like that, he's ahead. hampus, oh, could have been dead. No, does force the util out of the Swede very early into the piece. We've got 70 seconds here, and there's pressure on all fronts. Main, Rez, lingering and pushing into the lobby. This is where jabbi is waiting. It's a question of who has the better vision.
jabbi's got him.
Looking the wrong way. Does tame it with the clicks. Another body dropped. A two-man advantage. Plopsky looks to disrupt. Bombs come in lobby, and he knows it's a possibility. With hampus contributing as well, the 3v5 immediately becomes level. Oh, the timing. Counter-Strike's best and worst friend. 35. And what is that from LNZ? We've got some Counter-Strike going today. NiPor kept humble. We're only 10 rounds in and everyone's just looking like they're in their frag movie form.
The bomb's making it lower, and this is a fight that hampus has to win, chasing the tail right now. Nikodos is going to be sent back towards lobby. LNZ has no idea. I don't know if they're able to work out where the bomb's planted just yet.
They will now.
Oh, the door swung open. They know. They can isolate this fight. They know the AWP's on yard.
Yeah, roeJ might be regretting that. Never mind. Puts one between the eyes. Hello, LNZ. Pulling out the incendiary. That's the end of him. Okay. This is already quite the game. Copenhagen Flames. I mean, they nearly felt that one taken away from them, and they didn't come in with a perfect buy.
Yeah, that's right. There was 2 deagles in play there. You could see the lobby aggression, though. The Flames have a great idea of what they're addressing with NiP, right? As soon as they apply that pressure towards yard, there's no visuals, right? They're having to worry about that swarm around it to heaven and hell. They push forward into lobby to try and take back some space. You see Plopsky and Hut, Rez in the Squeaky. That's the natural response, right? You understand why they're doing that. Otherwise, they're a sitting duck. Looking like a fast top here.
Really fast. It worked well. Worked once, and it'll work again.
If you just watch the Na'Vi demo from the other day, Na'Vi did this time and time again, but Rez got 2 deagle shots.
Hold on, Rez is heating up, and he's at least disrupted enough to see that bomb delayed. Shouldn't be a way in now.
Oh, they can mop this up with all that util, right? Smoke towards main. Zyphon has a bunch as well. Device or hampus are going to have to somehow weasel their way into the backlines here, and with the bomb on down, the 40-second timer begins.
Hampus giving some respect to the OGs there, a Jacob sticker. Wondering where we'll see him again.
I don't know if NiP can go for this. Maybe just getting some guns on the way out the door here. You can see that they force bought into this situation. So for them, it's going to be very flat going forward. You'd love to get a rifle or 2 out of this situation, but a costly round to go all in. And that could even be the half here. Flames likely now to get themselves up to 8 rounds.
On the T side, no less. And they can thank all of their stars for delivering. Zyphon's deagle round, jabbi's top site take, roeJ with 3 entry frags back to back to get them onto the starting foot. I mean, no one hasn't pulled their weight at the moment. All eyes on HooXi and Nikodos, of course, to keep those calls going in HooXi's regard. And Nikodos obviously going to be coming online once he gets to that CT side. The AWP can be mute, and certainly muted on this T side. Yeah,
well, that round that he had right there earlier where he gets the kill on Device, right? Device is tasked because they didn't pick up the AWP after round 1, right? He's having to operate with only an M4, so you could just see in that fight, Nikodos is way too quick. And they can really start to punish the ninjas right now. And only 32 rounds of Counter-Strike 1 is what you need here across 2 maps to get into that arena, right? That arena is waiting in the wings. We are only 2 days away from that. And once again, for everybody playing at home, NiP, they started off in this legend stage by winning the 2 best-of-1s. And one of those games was against Astralis, which they won 16-1. They were hot. They go up against Na'Vi, they go up against Gambit. Now they find themselves in the 2-2 column against Copenhagen Flames, who just continue to impress with the type of Counter-Strike they're playing.
Yeah, I suppose NiP said anything you can do, Flames, we can do better. They posted a 16-6 against Astralis, and NiP did a whole lot better than that.
That was just a crazy game to see that form, and if you heard from the desk, they were a little bit curious. They're just going to mop up this eco here, not too much to get excited about just yet. They're talking about Inferno, and maybe it being, you know, a misstep in the veto. The fact that they're not willing to pick Ancient again. There's Device. Needs a lot more of that.
Does bait Nikodos and confirm there's a whole lot more bodies onto this top side. And LNZ going unchecked for at least the one on the USP. That's the end of that. And they've won the T half. I mean, you can certainly have this pick justified in that respect alone. They have got 20 officials on Nuke on record in the last 3 months. It's definitely a map they're willing to play a whole lot of. I mean, these guys are grinders. Yeah,
one of the things, though, with that, as you take a little bit of a look at the history, they had a loss on this very map to Heroic just the other day, 16-4, right? So for them to pick it shows that they're confident in what maps they think they can be good against NiP, right? And that's why, as Inferno we were just talking about there, it's going to be an interesting one, right? They're going to have to start on the T side. It's not going to be easy for NiP if this does start with them being 1 map down. Now, they are buying in. Device not going to be able to get the AWP out again. Util light on in the sense they only have 2 Molotovs here. And we know how important those mollies are early. You want one towards Hut. You want one towards Squeaky. You'd also love one for Ramp early as well. But they're not going to have all that Util. Think about disrupting the smoke walls towards Yard. That's when that Util comes into play. So they're light on. They do have a kit to note. So might see them go for the post. The bomb goes down. Smoke towards Ramp. Taking their time.
I mean, they do elude some pressure early. It could be coming. A couple of smokes.
That right there is just to bait out all that protocol util, right? Just to make sure that they're on their toes here, NiP. And you can see this position being adopted from Device, something new, right? It's not going to be such a deep line to fight, but there is the chance to slip on in through main. That'll have to be mopped up by Rez, and they are pressuring ramp. And you can see LNZ, he does play it passive. They've been able to get control of this. 2 already towards the lower site, so NiP are in what I like to call a turtle setup, right? They're giving up a lot of room. They're turtled up on these bomb sites here, hoping the fights come their way.
Yeah, phalanx of M4s. Main vision denied. You don't need to throw out the wall if you can assume they've got a passive stance. Now, hampus will react and rotate through.
They just have no space right now. Nikodos
no one's
isn't
holding
looking.
him. This could be Nikodos on a timer if he just looks away at the wrong moment. Hampus pokes his little head out and doesn't look like that's going to work out well for him on the first peak. jabbi did catch Rez elsewhere.
They're just going top.
Oh, Plopsky. He's being hunted. Oh, the element of surprise not worked out for roeJ. Nikodos at least keeps things interesting, but here's Device again from main, striking and ready for Nikodos, just baiting with the barrel as Zyphon collects 15, and the bomb still loose, Chad. Where is that?
In lobby, they're going to be able to get it. They should be able to pick it up now.
Oh,
Needs to get a move on this. They should have just enough time here. It's going to be so close. I don't think they have it. I don't think they have it.
That's around.
Oh, and just through the virtual, leaving the bomb in lobby right there. That little tiny detail. You could see they were just pressuring around the map. And that's an unforced error. It's an unforced error there. It wasn't like the bomb was dropped. They just left it behind. Nobody accounted for it. And the clock getting the better of Flames there.
Oh, I mean, really, 1 second in it. And I think he may have just had that fumble, the left click.
Oh, that's a chance now for NiP to get this as close as they possibly can.
That was the opener we missed on main. This is the second that Plopsky gets. And the fact that he's just at the back when roeJ opts to strike. He had a perfect sight of it, gets plenty of time to react. Hampus is throwing some aggression into the mix here.
He'd love a flash here, Hampus.
Has Device got one?
Yeah, in his hand. It's primed. It's ready. It's going.
Nikodos blinded, losing his life. Easy as that, and they can just seize that advantage and tuck tail. Get out of there. Hampus already has. He's completely vacated the premises.
Finally, the Ninjas are taking a bit of a fight here to Flames, right? That was some heads-up play. The other moves that they've made have been found on out, just like this. jabbi was down the vent. Nobody knew.
How did he get away with that? And look how much space he's taken. Rez is hot on his heels. He didn't close the door. He was raised in a barn. This could be the end of jabbi. Yeah, spotted, executed. Just as easy as that. The wall of smokes implies there's more to come. Rez likely going to stick around.
It's all 3 of them here. They're coming on down, all on Rez right now. They've smoked off the choke point. HooXi doing his best to sell that presence. Couple of mollies, bunch of flashbangs left on over, but they'll need to brute force their way in here. Copenhagen Flames.
Nerdy flash for all you playing at home. Flashes those deep stairs players. But yeah, HooXi, I mean, he's been throwing all of this to imply they're coming, but they actually are. No smoke or mirrors in this case. It's just a creepy, crawly crab. Rez is hit by the warning shots, and okay, crossfire should be hard to break, and one won't cut it. HooXi needs more and won't have the chance. Device, quick sequence of 3 to close that gap. 8-7. I mean, Copenhagen Flames probably not going to be dissatisfied, but they'll be aware they could have had a bit more.
Yeah, it's a very good T-half, right? 8 rounds is fantastic here, but NiP are the ones here who claw back into things. So, couple of unforced errors there, making things a little bit easier for the Ninjas, but it's good to see Device online. He had a couple of AWP rounds early, and that's been taken out of his hands. He's shown he can get it done with the rifle as well. 15 kills for him. That's what they need. That's what they need from an individual like Device in the server. On the other side, jabbi had some fantastic rounds, 16 to his name, and roeJ as well. Looking good, 11 for him. LNZ passing the test. We saw over towards ramp. He had a couple of occasions there. Almost had that 1-on-3 clutch towards the lower side as well. That could have been a turning point. But here we go. 1 round the difference here. And pistol round right here is going to have a P250 in the hands of Device. Hampus buying himself a smoke and a flash. And
we are live.
Taking the fight towards Yard here now. Like they're set up towards top. Device may take contact and they could swing into top and hope that that draws Flames members in their direction. Nikodos with a warning shot.
For example, roeJ. You can see this is a pulled him out of his contributions to Squeak. And it's just Device. Some deception here from the ninjas. And I say that, hampus is ready to wrap into the top site as well. roeJ,
they're splitting top here.
incredibly passive on this, and hampus has slipped through the blind spot. It doesn't stop roeJ from finding Device, and from the heavens, hoopsie shy of the mark, needed that one. Nikados contributes, it's still roeJ, the main issue. Xiphon doesn't finish. On to Rez, this is still winnable. This would be an ace, clutch. Is it just the two? Not to be, okay. That will be 8 then. NiP do take their pistol, and I love the game plan there. It did look like they did their research. You can see a big smile on Threat's face. I suggest that might have been his contributions on the half, just reminding them of the pistol they planned.
Yeah, just pulling that rotation, right? That made that top side a little bit more susceptible there. So good stuff, and it didn't look like it was starting great. The damage exchange in the favor of the Flames early here, but good shooting from Rez, and I think the one that really saved them was Plops coming out Squeaky, swinging and getting the kill top hut, but Flames, they're not done yet. They're going to force Spy in. They got 4 smokes to work with here. Some armor, some deagles, and a scout in play. Locking down the top early. You can see the smoke towards Squeaky. Hooksy calling this clear for now. Top hut position is going to be very important, and hampus, he loves the lurky boy, plays towards yard.
Yeah, well, there's a prime example of it. He's actually just thrown out the third component of that wall smoke deliberately from that red container position, so they'll have to try and assume or operate under the assumption that there is bodies here. They're boosting. That could lead to a surprise headshot. Xiphon doesn't get anything.
Hampus is going to have to park the bus here, right? He didn't use the smokes. Jabbi calls this clear, so they have a very good idea that there's nothing, and they're actually walking in his direction.
Ooh, he spotted more than that, and actually does keep them very humble. Xiphon is a threat on the sidearms. Walking into top site. Advantage Flames in that respect. Galilla's fall into their hands as well, but Rez starting to heat up, and that's a very good sign for the ninjas. Same speech that was given to Zywoo.
Oh, lucky they dealt with that. He slipped in, no one was looking. Device just mopped that up. It was so close right there, because if Xiphon gets up and is able to get in behind them to lobby, they were worried about the lobby push. That could have been a huge kill. Good stuff from Device. It will just be that save right now. Holding on to these upgraded goodies. It's going to be great to keep that Galil.
About time we remind you as well that there is just one final seat at the Champions table. Top 8 of the Major, the very first we've had since our 2-year hiatus. NiP, the only Swedish representation with the departure of Olof in his FaZe VP matchup that preceded this one.
Yeah, that one hurt, didn't it? Like,
it really did.
Olof and NiP in the arena, you could imagine the Swedes would be all about that right there, but VP showing that they never give up. That was one of the keys the last 2 series for VP. If you didn't catch the Mouse game yesterday, and now the one against FaZe, against 2 international squads, they never quit. They got it across the line. NiP are in the lead right now, and I just had the flashback to the Xiphon Deagle round, right? Remember that first half? NiP were actually on the receiving end of a round that they probably shouldn't lose. So that's going to put a lot more scrutiny on a round like this. Right, that Galil is in roeJ's hands. He's been able to get a CZ across. He can save that as well. And then the upgrades for everybody. So a couple of tags from Nikados, a nice kill from roeJ on this Galil, and maybe the Flames are talking here to round number 18. This is quick from hampus, though. This time across. Oh, he's coming. And the fact that hampus has gone across and made so much noise, they're going to think that something could cross, but they didn't hear the noise, right? He was so noisy, and it looked like he was doing that intentionally to bait them into this, but roeJ was there a little bit too late. Another smoke, and the last smoke from the CT side dropped out towards Squeaky. NiP are really taking their time about things, and they have a boatload of util to set up for a top piece late. Get the molly behind the CT vent. Smoke off towards main. Turn your attention towards that top site.
I mean, it still has the grounds to go wrong. 3-man setup, and it's threatening. A couple of bullets exchanged, here they come. The door's already open, and utility implies they're coming through. hoopsie tries to time it well. Device is having absolutely none of it. And that Xiphon D you discussed, only the one. It's LNZ that will string together 2. Oh, I missed molly. Nikados can stick around. Plant and Device, just the tip of his head is all that's required.
He's hot, 19 kills for him now, right? Like, he is stepping up in a massive way, and LNZ actually trying to get the boys fired up here, because, like, Device is doing so much, and this is perfect. Like, this is perfect. This is why you get Device in your team, to do exactly this. And those rounds, right, I know that a lot of people go, yeah, it's just the eco bashing. They are the hardest rounds to win in Counter-Strike, right? So, steps up in both of those. Now putting them in a position now, NiP, first to reach double digits. They're going for the bonus here. Going to be a Mac 10 left over, a couple of Galils in the mix as well. Orb out for nikodos, and there's the smoke wall towards Yard. Hampus jumping early for any info he can find. And this is very passive from nikodos, right? Once the smoke wall goes down, he can actually rotate around. He can be very floaty here. Into the bent elbow of smokes here.
Yeah, you will
stay
be
close to that.
out. He is sticking around to see if anyone does fancy their chances through, but yeah, on a timer, Warehouse will be lost. And I think roeJ's down there already. He's been very preemptive in his positioning. And preemptive with his smoke. Look at that. Just as they turn the corner, it's grey for another 15 seconds or so. Already quite light on the util here. It will have to be bullets for the Flames to defend up against this, what is a full 5-man commitment.
He's going to get overwhelmed here any second.
But you can see he's positioned himself to go for the one and disappear. You can slam those doors closed, reposition. Exactly like so. Whoa, what are you trying? You wanted to nade him off and go again. They'll open it for him, and he'll close the case too. Third is asking too much. Zyphon's been bought some time to tuck in. Hampus to clear. Oh, Zyphon, this is off angle. It's naughty. Hampus will not be clearing this, and an adjustment's made. 2-man advantage for the Flames, and there's more to be found. Zyphon does get the double. Only LNZ up against the whole squad. And the restraint. Look at the patience here from the Flames. They know it's up to LNZ to make the play. He has to be planting that bomb. He doesn't have the time for this, and he doesn't have the life. nikodos secures it. That's the 9th. And Copenhagen Flames fight back with a convincing one of their own.
Yeah, a couple of handy doubles there, right? The fact that roeJ gets 2, Zyphon as well, that's just completely stalls out the Ninjas. But it was a bonus round, right? They are going to be able to reinvest going into the next round of play. But that was an all-in, right? Yeah, all-in, we're just going to go through secret. We're going to try and swarm the lower player, get into that site and get it done. Timeout is going to be called from NiP, second so far within this map, and Threat gets a chance to get on the mic to set out this game plan. Now, they also noted nikodos had that AWP because of the last frag coming on through, so Device is going to pick up his own. Enough nades to make this work. Hampus and LNZ short on a molly or a flash, maybe 2. Things are looking fantastic over there for the Flames bite. 3 kits, head armor in play. Couple of AKs. Very important round here as the loss bonus isn't built for either side just yet. And there's not a lot in the bank balance remaining for Flames even after that round win. Squeaky made it open, Device towards Yard, and a heads up orb duel on the menu, but LNZ's taken down roeJ.
Yeah, it's just a straight smoke slash vent bang from the lobby position. Device has actually flashed nikodos off the line and re-peeks in. nikodos does at least pull something back for the Flames, but already the damage is done. They're aching, and they've lost so much space. It is jabbi, though. He's at the top of the scoreboard for a reason, the 18-year-old Dane. Ready to rain down pain. There's more to come.
Doubles ping.
Manages his angle, swings in, and does take Hampus out. The leader of the Ninjas pack. More where that came from. jabbi, so good! So good! And when it matters most, he's battling for top 8 at a major. And NiP crumble again. It's just taking it in turns to be superstars here.
It's a 5-on-3 that's fallen apart.
Yeah, okay, well, nikodos gone. The 1v3 from Plopsky, and he's going to get the bomb down, so Hampus will be proud of that. jabbi's done so much. Can he do the final step on his own? He's got hookzy, who has just about gotten down into the lower site through the vents. jabbi last spotted in control. He's opted for dark. Not overthinking this, Plopsky. He knows the bomb timer on his side. He knows he's got a good shot at jabbi here. Oh, what? A quick one again for the 4th. A big smile on his face. He knows what he's done.
That's crazy, right? I said that there are 3 kits into play. These 2 right here didn't have one. jabbi just picked one up now. So there was so much pressure on. Right, in that situation, if Plopsky gets the kill onto jabbi, hooksy's going to have to play out that round without a kit, right? And that right there could have easily been NiP's. Once again, that started. Yeah, this started with LNZ getting a freebie. You're not going to get that very often, and they even got the 2nd kill here over towards ramp. It looked good. They double swing, but jabbi gets away with 1, and then this double up here. This is massive. His AK has been on point. Just reflect to the first half if you need that to be tested. He's been massive, and that's his 20th kill right there to get them up to the scoreline of 10-10.
Someone gave him a rousing speech. I mean, he's truly unfazed by what's at stake here. I mean, you highlighted it well when we were talking about it, Chad. You know, Copenhagen Flames are coming in with that extra buff of nothing to lose, everything to gain. People have set their expectations under what you can attain for your entire presence throughout RMRs, open qualifiers, never mind the challenger stage, the legend stage. Well, they're looking for top 8. They're looking for the champion stage. And, well, yeah, one best of 3 away. 32 rounds separating you. And even less now with the 10-10 scoreline. This is their pick. jabbi's demonstrated exactly why they're so comfortable here. He's looking great.
I think they might take their time on this one here, NiP. Weigh out all that early protocol CT utility, stifling the choke points and allow Device to work with this AK-47 now. He hasn't shied away from the pressure here, but if he steps up in another massive moment like this, could get NiP exactly where they need to be.
All right. Device on the AK-47. This is a banana skin. You can't slip on this for if you're the Flames. Looking to weasel an 11th out of a hero AK. It's ambitious to be walking hut. So many potential angles of assault. You've got to clear that Z-axis. hoeJ's on hut. You've got jabbi tucked on sight, and yeah, he will think better of it.
Just having a look everywhere, right? Hoping somebody oversteps. That's what Device is really hoping for here now. It's not going to be easy to find a fight anywhere. And there's 40 seconds left, so sooner rather than later, they need to make up their mind here, NiP. They have to go down regardless of this situation. And the 2 players ramp here. Flames are reading this well.
Perfect place to be nestled. Device versus nikedos, and ooh, the bait, the switch. Zyphon will be forced off, and bomb now loose. It's actually LNZ that managed to get 2 for his troubles, so we've got a bit of a round here.
Time's the problem.
Top site, Plopsky's main makes sense. You'd have to clear jabbi now. Oh, spotted. Loud about this. They're into the site. That's the clear. jabbi delivers the most crucial frag of it all. That should secure it. And we'll make it a handsome 22 frags and counting. Keep it up.
I don't know where LNZ is getting these kills from, right? That's massive there from him. Like, huge. He gets 2 kills, and the problem is NiP are committed over towards ramp, so they can't pivot efficiently off of that. But it feels like that just must have been massive from out of nowhere. Like, he's just strolling on his lonesome during all of that. So LNZ, he's playing a great game, all things considered. He's the rookie for the Ninjas.
I mean, this is probably the game with the most new gen names in the full 10, right? When you look at that, even Plopsky was put in the new gen category when he showed up and started popping heads like cherry and tomatoes with the Krieg.
Really important round right here. Flames are going to be able to extend their legs, especially if they deny NiP the plant, right? That's going to be key. Just try and keep this as flawless as possible. Don't let them get the bomb down. Money's still a bit flimsy over there for the Flames. Got the high end of nikedos right now, but looks like the smokes towards Jihad are being thrown in. You can't step before that blooms. nikedos will punish.
Oh, he's got no vision anymore. So it's denied, and they're crawling. It's going to be roeJ and nikedos to solve this puzzle.
They're giving them the space here, right? They're allowing them to walk behind these smokes. They're not flashing through. They're not trying to make this jarring. They're actually trying to pivot. They want to take the fights. The smokes are fading. nikedos going to have company.
Oh, swallows the flash, but it's jabbi again! He's got so much on his plate, still takes 2 in the play. hoeJ can contribute. NiP in a tailspin, looking for answers. Zyphon is under scrutiny, but it's roeJ this time from up the vents to put another double in his back pocket. Flames extend their lead, and smiles and fist bumps exchanged. Because NiP, we know, and they know, how brutal this will be for the Swedes. They're running out of chances now, Chad. They got 3 grand in the bank account, and they have made the only decision available, which is to go for the double pump. Pretty utility heavy Tech 9 armor round.
Yeah, they can half buy here. This is huge from jabbi. He's just not missing. His AK is not missing right now. This is massive stuff from him. And I don't read lips for a living, but I'm pretty sure roeJ screamed his name there as they won that round. Here we go. Could be fast top. Squeaky's open. Linus is on his way out.
Let's see the reaction. Oh, it's jabbi again. This time he swallows the flash. He's supposed to be dead. Teammates save him. hoeJ's spray is there. And just like that, it does fall apart. There was a lot of thought, a lot of nades, and a lot of bodies thrown into that one, and NiP have got nothing to show for it. Copenhagen Flames not letting up.
People felt desperate there, right? The Hail Mary hard top. You're going to have to try something, and they did, but just completely blanked here. Might even get all 5 staying alive, as it is just hampus the man with the plan over towards Squeaky, smoked off. Minute 10 on the clock, but yeah, you're not going to get anything done with the Deagle and Kev here. It's just going to be Constellation frags in this one. Nikodos is locking down the hut with the orb, multiple angles being spotted. Jabbi is the first to get that exchange, and look where the bomb is. So we can call this 13 right now here for the Flames.
Worth highlighting, I'm sure it was on the desk as well, the Copenhagen Flames have the only losses they've posted in this stage are to teams that have qualified. Heroic and G2. Nikodos does put the cherry on top. That's 13.
So much cash right now. Like NiP, they're not going to be in a position to break Copenhagen Flames. They need a couple, right? A couple of consecutive rounds. And not only do they need that couple here just to get themselves back in contention for this map, we're looking at 5 rounds in a row right now, right? 5 rounds consecutive. And yeah, the showman, yeah, makes sense. Jabbi is putting on a show right here. This is a great showing from him. Like, it's been massive. The fact that he's done top rushes with an AK and completely cleared out the Sunny Zone, that's mental.
Yeah, he does seem very, very comfortable in that AK spray.
Headshot percentage 75%. So you just see what we're seeing. His aim here is phenomenal right now. Back underway as we turn into the guns again. LNZ has the armor. He combined with the AK. Util there to meet him. And somebody from NiP needs to step up now. Device has had his moments. I don't know how many more you can ask him. Hampus is the one that we turn to on the T side when NiP do their smoke walls, looking for space. This could be the man to throw a spanner in the works as we see the smoke wall being lined up again here.
Interesting mix-up, and I think it's enabled by Xiphon's Orc, because that's a fight often taken by Orbs, but does certainly benefit from the scope. Even Na'Vi whipping something similar out. So we are going to be seeing the same smokes.
roe's going to be here towards Secret as well, so he can stall this out with his util when they do rain over, but NiP are taking their time. roeJ doesn't even have to have a look right now. There's no pressure, there's no presence being felt anywhere on the map. NiP are very, very passive in this, and there's the smokes. They will drop.
Molotoved out. roeJ does have to respect that. Drops out one of his own, and that will actually buy him time to get glance before they can have walked through. Hampus trying to be the spearhead here. He should have roeJ dead to rights. The pre-fire does indicate roeJ just rounds the corner in time. Will now be able to buy time with that sack of utility.
They've taken the bomb, they've gone back towards lobby here. So this is all about Hampus's positioning, right? He either has to make space, find a kill, do something for the team, because he's the one applying pressure lower. There's only one rotation down there for now, and roeJ doesn't want a bar of it. He's actually dropped all the way back. It feels like the Flames are reading this well.
Again.
It's on Jabbi and Hooksy towards top here. They don't really have any help. Xiphon's still passive towards Warehouse. He's not going to be able to contribute. He's going to have to spam through a main smoke most likely. Hampus has so much room. They might want to drop down the vent and try and go lower here if they can.
If they can. Denied on the first entry. Xiphon takes down Rez. It's going to be quick and rush, but 15 seconds as they do make some good headway. He's beating them to it. He's beating them to it. Nikodos first contact. No time for this. Hampus just looking for some extra stats. He has not got the time. He has not got the frags. 14 for the Flames, and they do seem to have the finger on the pulse. Like, NiP have at no point caught them off guard.
It felt like there, roeJ was wanting to give them the room to do exactly that, right? Drop down the vent, sure, that's cool. We don't have to fight you with that secret control. We're going to play passive here. You only have one man down that wall. And that's going to be able to be called because you think about the timing, right? The details of that. Smoke wall drops. T-Molly drops. Hampus walking behind it. roeJ drops his own, and then after his subsides, goes for a fight. At that point, the smokes are almost gone, right? So they know that there's not too many bodies across. They have a great idea of what they're working with in the Flames. This is fantastic work here as it's desperate now for NiP. It's a half buy again. A MAC-10 is the best thing they have to boast. Some light util across, and they're getting blanked right now.
Yeah, pressure mounting for the Ninjas. Soon, it will all be hinging on their map pick if they're not careful. Inferno is their choice.
We're going top.
Coming in thick and fast. Like you said, the MAC-10's the best they can boast, and Hooksy fully flashed. Has Jabbi really got another big round in him? The answer's yes, a quick spray. It's roeJ that finishes what he started. And with the bomb now loose, Device's hand will be 40. He's going for some crazy wall bangs, and roeJ's not phased. Hampus is a dead man if he does try and walk through grey screen. A very deep lobby smoke. Device trying to be the playmaker. He's lost his teammate as well, so perhaps the element of surprise here. I mean, everyone has committed into this site. Thank you, Observer. No surprise if he was to crawl up the ladder. Main, on the other hand...
no way in. No, roeJ has that from behind the sight box, right? So they have this completely locked down right now. Flames have handled this. Like, Device would have to do something out of this world, right? Well, this round is not winnable right now. He's not going to get a chance to isolate these fights.
Pre-aim on to Zypher, not going to happen. And yeah, wow, Copenhagen Flames making a very strong case here. Look at this run. I mean, it's been an undefeated run since NiP came into this half with their 3-0 conversions. You can see it just feels like a formality for them. Smiles are on their face as they've got 5 opportunities to take their map pick here in the 2-win, 2-loss affair against the hometown heroes.
There's no conversation of who looks like the better team right now, right? It's not like the Flames getting away with gimmicky rounds. It's not like they won both pistols. It's nothing like that. One looks very steady. The other doesn't have any answers whatsoever. The AKs are here for one more ride, but I think this is NiP done and dusted in map number 1. I don't see how they get through. They're ready for the ramp play now, reading this fantastically. Nikodos is even going to go forward.
LNC does catch an important one, and they might run down Nikodos. He stands around, does get one, but here we go. Space now for the ninjas to operate with. Hampus has been spotted and eliminated. Trying to do an awful lot here. Jabbi makes him known of his presence, well aware. Rez and Device to keep NiP's hopes alive on map 1. And he's lost his teammate as well. This just seems as discussed possible. 16. Copenhagen Flames looking like the better squad, and the job's not done, but the first step in the right direction.
They didn't even break a sweat. They didn't even have to break a sweat right there. Like, this is just casual. That didn't even feel threatening whatsoever, especially with that T-side coming out from NiP. I understand this is their choice, but again, the context of this, right? The context. NiP are one of the teams who are already in the legend stage. They